Just saying. Here it is, Nordstrom Rack. We talked about this, remember? Good things, they take time, don't they? Listen, it has been too long since we've been sitting together in a car on our way to Nordstrom Rack. I know, but today is the day. So I am on my way. I'm going to bring you some of my favorite tips and see if we can catch any good deals. And we are going to have a little bit of fun too. All right, so let's not wait another minute. Let's do this. So this is my first tip, and I really want to settle this once and for all. The question is, can you return Nordstrom items at Nordstrom Rack? Well, first off, my store just completely redesigned itself. And for this store specifically today, there is now a separate section to do all of your returns in. First of all, you can return Nordstrom.com items at Nordstrom Rack stores. However, this is where it gets gray. Some smaller stores might not let you. So if you get a no at your store, the tip is to go to a larger store in your area. If you have one. The larger stores will return all Nordstrom Rack, all Nordstrom.com, and all Nordstrom store stuff, which is a big wow. I didn't know that. What's so exciting is not only the convenience of that tip, but it's also potentially meaning that a lot of Nordstrom store items are then getting put in rack inventory and put out, hopefully at a discount. But I'm going to go more into that later. So here's the only caveat. If you're trying to return a high-end item, they will say no. But just to recap, number one, the bigger Nordstrom Rack stores will return all rack items, hot look, Nordstrom.com items, and Nordstrom store items, with the exception of high-end designer. Also, as I was waiting in line today, if your store, like mine, now has a separate return section, it is so convenient. So just make sure you remember to go in that line and do your returns and exchanges to skip the long lines. All right. Tip number 2, Nordstrom Rack items versus Nordstrom store items. Now follow me here. This is a really important tip. My goal for Nordstrom Rack is to always hunt for Nordstrom items. And this might be really confusing because a lot of people might think, well, Nordstrom Rack is filled with Nordstrom items, but it is not. The Rack produces their own items. A great example of this is Z by Zella versus Zella. How do you know you're getting a Nordstrom store item versus a Rack item? Well, first of all, the tags that are white are Rack items. That's one way to know. Honestly, for me, I tend to skip these items because we can shop at all different stores for those things. We want to find the special items, obviously, because they make us feel special. So I want you to look for the items tagged at Nordstrom and discounted. The best place for this, honestly, and I've said this before, are the athletic section racks that are unmarked. I have told you this before. The first place I always go is to the athletic section that doesn't have a sign on the rack, because there I find a ton of Nordstrom items that are super discounted. Like today, I found so much Alo Yoga, which is one of my favorite brands, marked down like 50 to 75% off, which is so great. All right, number 3, I am not mad. I am not at those of you who put things back in the wrong rack. That is sometimes how you find the best things, truly. So if you just even see some of the footage from my shopping trip today, like a lot of things are misplaced, and that's where you can find some of the best designer things. People just put things back in the wrong areas. So if you look at the clearance rack today, here I am in a size 10 to 14 pants looking through, and I am finding so many designer things not in that size. And that's great because that's how we find the gems. So things are constantly put back all the time in different places. So look carefully through the racks of your favorite departments, and I promise you will find some hidden gems. You may need to actually save 30 more minutes in this shopping trip just to be in a state of mind where you can really take your time. Because if you have the extra time to go through some of these racks, you will soon see there's so much to find.
Another example really quick is the lingerie department. Like my lingerie department of the store is like seriously the hidden gem for all the good stuff, like especially the anniversary sale, leather leggings and stuff like that. I'll look in like the Spanx section or the Hue section just to see if I could find like David Lerner or Lacey or other brands that I know are Nordstrom specific. Next tip, my non-tech savvy friends, this one's for you. If you love your phone and you've downloaded the Rack and Nordstrom apps on it, you probably already know this tip, but if you haven't, that's my first tip to you is download both of those apps if you shop in store. You need these apps. These apps are really important. Even if you don't like to online shop, I want you to start to use the app to scan if an item you love that you found in the store isn't available. As I was looking today, I was seeing and finding a lot of things that I loved, but just weren't in my size. It's the worst when you can't find things in your size. So what I will do is I will take out my app, I will open the scan button next to the search, and I will scan the tag in store. This is so much fun because then what happens is it'll open the item on NordstromRack.com if it's online still, and you can shop there. This is sometimes better than asking associates because now you're in control. The second part of this is you can come across something from the Nordstrom store, and the first thing you can do is scan it on the Rack app to see if it hit the Rack yet. There are a lot of Nordstrom items that hit NordstromRack.com, which is great. There you can check for size. If nothing comes up though, this is the second part of the tip. It means you're dealing with a more expensive Nordstrom item. So what do? You open your Nordstrom app. When you scan the item there, same thing, hit the scan button, you'll see if it's available or not. This is great if you find something you really love, and if it's still available at Nordstrom, that's like a huge deal. Yay. Like, for example, my David Lerner leggings here, totally sold out everywhere, unfortunately, but you can see if they weren't, I could still score them at Nordstrom. Okay, next tip, shoes. If you've watched my original video, I've got tons of tips on shoes, especially like getting those 5-cent deals. But for this one, here's my tip. My store used to separate the designer shoes from the normal. Did anyone ever notice this? Like you'd have to go to 2 different places to find shoes. But now all of the shoes are in the sizing they belong. They're all like intermingled together. So the tip is to really take your time here because all of your designer shoes are intermingled inside your normal shoe racks. And so as I look today, for example, there's a ton of different designer shoes I'm finding that otherwise were maybe in a separate rack at a different place. So don't rush. It's all intermingled. The second shoe tip I have for you is again about sizing. I've talked about this before. I want to say it a little bit differently though this time. I am a true 9.5 to 10, but I don't ever just shop US sizing. It's so important with Nordstrom because they have shoes coming from all over the world. Know your sizing. I make a point to shop European sizes too. Do you know your European size? That is so important. A lot of European sizing would tell me as a 10 in US that I am a 40 in European sizing, and a 40 fits me nowhere. You give me a Pedro Garcia shoe, a 40 is so super tight. It is just different sizing. I need a 41. Well, European sizing and US sizing would tell a store that a size 41 is in the 11s. So what are we going to do? I will always, always, always go look in my normal size shoe first, and then I will go to the 11s because the 11s, I don't want a US size 11. Those are too big, but any Euro 41 is going to fit me. And the Nordstrom Euro shoes, well, one, they're coming from the Nordstrom store, but those are the most expensive ones and they're most likely discounted here at the store. 1, know your European sizing. 2, make sure you look in the corresponding US size as reflective of your Euro sizing. All right, next tip from our Nordstrom stores. Listen, if your store puts this sign up, this sign is like gold. You go to that rack. You could see today, like my store had this sign up everywhere. So anywhere you see the sign, go there. From the Nordstrom store sign means you will get a discounted item that you otherwise would have shopped full price at Nordstrom. So for example, today, let's look at the bags. The sign is up. There are buckets of leather designer bags on clearance. It's insane. And if you're seeing these Nordstrom clearance items, if they don't sell, they're going to continue to be knocked down. So really watch for clear the rack sales and go right to those from the Nordstrom store signs. That is going to do you well, I promise. Look at this All Saints coat. Oh my gosh. First of all, it's almost a $700 coat, and it has been marked down. Such a screaming deal. This is something that is so rare, but these are the reasons we come into Nordstrom Rack, right? So the best place to find that is going to be a From Our Nordstrom Store rack. All right, this is the last tip. Get excited. Anniversary sale items. We have had so many good conversations since my anniversary sale hype video. I don't know that I'm the kind of shopper that thrives at the Nordstrom anniversary sale because I'm always looking, sourcing, and finding sort of the best designer deals.
Okay, so for those of you who watched my Nordstrom anniversary sale video,
this sale has to be handled with care. Otherwise, you can get lost in the hype and it's not a fun time.
Just wanted to show you. Here's that leopard cardigan. I don't know if this is the identical leopard cardigan or if this is a different one. This one was $162 on sale for $60. Here it is. This one's cuter than the one probably at the sale. But if this was the one at the sale, just saying. Here it is, Nordstrom Rack. We talked about this. Remember? Don't buy the hype. I told you we would find these items, and they're everywhere in my store right now. Everywhere. Some of them are quality, some of them aren't. But this is really about the principle that we don't need to buy into the hype. We don't. I just want to remind you, the rack is here to find the deals. So don't let them fool you. We can find these things readily in season, always, especially at Nordstrom Rack, which I'm so excited about. There is a deal every day at Nordstrom, and I think the point's been proven about the anniversary sale. Our stores are full of the returned anniversary sale items. So like it or not, here they are. Some of them are discounted even more from the sale. Some of them are priced just like they were at the sale. And there's 10 times more things out at other stores as well. So hopefully you can shop smart, not buy into the hype, and really be able to get a killer deal at your local store. So that is a wrap, my loves. What tips are you using to score the deals? So comment below. I would love to hear. I'd love shopping with you. This was fun. Let's do it again soon. Mwah.